Hello and welcome back to my channel and another homeschooling curriculum video. I thought this was going to be the last curriculum video that I was going to do, but it turns out I think I'm going to have to do one more because I just don't want these to get too long or too overwhelming for people. So today we are going to talk about grammar and we are going to talk about writing curriculum. I talked about spelling before, but we also do a separate grammar curriculum, and we also have done we've done a few different types of writing curriculums. So I want to show you these, and that way you can make a decision moving forward about what is going to work for your family on how to make your kid into the best writer that they can be. So let's get started. So we use a company, the publishing company is called Jacques Chris, or Jacques Chris, I don't know. And they actually have a few different curriculums that they do. They have Growing with Grammar, they have Soaring with Spelling, and Winning with Writing, something like that. So we have used their grammar curriculum for a long time. I started first grade with level 1, and I go all the way through level 6 in 6th grade. And I haven't used their spelling or their writing curriculum, but I have used grammar curriculum all the way through. So let me show you what this looks like. Basically, in the younger grades, you buy this notebook, and this is one that I do buy every year for each student. I don't try to reuse this one, I just let them write in it. But in the younger grades, you've got the instructions and the concept that they're teaching. So this one is practice with subjects and predicates. It's talking about the subject part and the predicate part of a sentence, and then it gives an example, and then it reinforces what it taught, and then they do a little bit of work here at the bottom of the page, and then you flip the page and you have a full page of practice again. Then the next page is the next lesson. That's in the younger books. The instruction is printed right in the student book. They change that up when they get to older levels and grades of this, and this becomes like the student manual. So this has the instruction in it that you're going to do, and then you would have a book like this that would have all of your like the worksheets that you're going to do the work actually on. So when you order a full set of the older level ones, you get a student manual, you get a student workbook. That's actually what they call it, student workbook. You get an answer key. I realize this is all different levels, but you would get it all for the same level. You get an answer key, which has all of your answers in it for the teacher, and then you also get a packet of tests. To be honest with you, we don't do very many of the tests. There's some kind of like systematic review type things in here, and we use those, but it's going to have your student learn all of the things that are associated with grammar. So you're going to do subject predicate, you're going to do noun verb, you're going to do adjective adverb, you're going to do sentence diagramming. Not in this one, I don't think. Alphabetical order, past tense verbs, irregular verbs, all of that kind of stuff is going to be covered. So this is something that I think is helpful to be supplemental to your spelling curriculum, because spelling teaches you how to spell, but it doesn't teach you the mechanics of doing grammar. And so we have found this very helpful. This one they have about 100 lessons. So we do like 3 to 4 lessons a week, and that gets us through one whole year, one level in 1 year. The other thing I will say is this: if you decide to use this for multiple students, this is the only part that you have to reorder new for each new student that's taking the course. you can just keep these three things, which is why I have this menagerie. You can just keep these three things for each level, and then all you have to order is the student workbook. And their website, which I'll link below, does allow you to only order the workbook. I have found this one to be very affordable. Like I said, it's over 100 pages. It's actually 200 and some pages of lessons, and it's like $14 or $15, which is not bad at all when you consider copying prices. So that's why I have decided just to reorder this. I let them fill it out in pencil, each student, and then I order a new one and I reuse these things with each student. So that's what we do for grammar, Growing with Grammar. And like I said, I'll link it below. It's Jack Chris Publishing. And then the other thing, we've used a few different types of writing curriculum. We've used some things that are just like writing prompts, just to kind of do some creative writing type things. I didn't bring the curriculum in here with me, but we also did, last year my boys did a writing curriculum called Cover Story. And I'm going to be honest, it was not my favorite. It was not their favorite. The concept is great, but the actual execution of it was not very good for my boys. The concept is you pick a topic and you're going to write about this topic all year long, and at the end you're going to compile a magazine, like you're going to print and publish your own magazine. It just got very difficult for them to write about the same topic over and over and over and over and over. So it was not my favorite. I'm sure it is a great fit for some students. It's a DVD driven thing, and the guy is very funny and he is very theatrical. So I'm sure it's a great fit for some students, but it just wasn't a great fit for us. But that one is called Cover Story, and they do some fun stuff and they have some good writing concepts that they learn in that one, but it just wasn't a great fit for us. So I'll link that one below too, even though I don't have it with me. I didn't even think to grab it. But the one writing curriculum that we love is the Institute of Excellence in Writing. The Institute for Excellence in Writing, or IEW. So these are two different levels of IEW. This one is about ancient history, and then this one is medieval history. And I made a big mistake when I was first homeschooling. I was looking for a writing curriculum, and I had heard that this was great, and so I bought it. And I thought, well, I can teach my kid to write. It's fine. And what I didn't know at the time was that there is a level, this is a very specific way to learn to write. It's a very specific type of curriculum, and you sort of have to be trained, or at the very least be exposed to this concept of writing to be able to teach it. So most curriculums you can buy, you can teach it to your kids, no problem, easy peasy, whatever. This is not that way. You really have to have at least been exposed or experienced this particular type of writing to be able to teach it to your student. And so Jarrett and I tried it many years ago, and it was terrible. And I had no idea what I was doing. He was frustrated, and so we just quit. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and there's a couple of different people in our lives who have been parts of homeschool co-ops and things like that are trained to teach this. And so I currently have 2 students in these 2 levels of IEW that are being taught by another homeschool mom who is trained and knows how to teach this type of curriculum. The thing I love about it is it really gives them a great base for expanding their ability to write. There's a lot about there's a lot about vocabulary. It teaches them not to just say things in a plain way. It teaches them to dress things up a little bit. And so I can give you kind of an overview of what the concept is. But like I said, I don't teach this, so I'm assisting after they have already done the lesson with their teacher. But basically, this one is about the statue of Zeus. There's vocabulary cards in the back that they cut out and put on a ring so that they can start to learn some really great vocabulary words like sinister, encase, vast, recede, tantalize. So it's teaching them these great vocabulary words that they can then implement into their writing. So this one says to play a vocabulary game. And then basically what you're doing is you're reading this story, short story, about the statue of Zeus. And what it's teaching them to do is to memorize the concept of what is being said here. And the way they do that is through what's called a keyword outline. And it's very specific how many words you can use and how, you can use little symbols and things like that. But they want you to have this keyword outline so that you have the concepts of what was stated in here, and then using this keyword outline and using your vocabulary words and using other resources that they give you, like a giant list of LY words, that enhance your writing. They have you rewrite this story in your own words using this keyword outline that's giving you the concept of what's being said. There is a lot in here, and it is really, really good. It's teaching MLA format. It's teaching things like clinchers at the end and good introductory statements. It has them check whether or not they used an LY. This is way later, lesson 22. Whether or not they used an LY adverb, 6 points. Did they use a who which clause, 6 points. Did they use a strong verb? So they don't let them say things like sat. Or, like kind of boring verbs like that. Did they use a strong verb? Did they use a quality adjective? It talks about sentence openers. It talks about decorations like alliteration. And then it talks through mechanics, capitalization, end marks and punctuation, complete sentences, spelling, banned words. So they have a whole list of banned words that you cannot use, banned, like you cannot use them. Go, went, say, said, good, bad, big, and little. They want them to use bigger, better words than that. And so if you use those words, then you lose a point for each one of those that you use in your final draft. And then more advanced editions, vocab words, dual dress-ups, triple extensions, sentence openers. So these are all things that they're learning through the course of this curriculum. And then they're writing these really incredible papers on, different topics. So this one is all ancient history. So everything that this is Brecklin's this year. So everything that Brecklin writes will be ancient history based, and everything that Kevin writes will be medieval history based. And so this has been a very, very good writing curriculum that gives my kids a great base for being able to really write with excellence. So this is what we use for writing. Growing with Grammar is what we use for grammar. Next time we're going to talk about science and some other kind of hodgepodge of things like handwriting and typing and just kind of some miscellaneous classes. And then after that, I would love to do a Q&A. So I would love to answer any questions that you have. I would love to come alongside you with any struggles that you're experiencing as you are trying to homeschool your kids. So leave your questions in the comment box below, or leave them on my Facebook page, or text me, or send me a private message. Whatever your questions are, I would love to compile all of those questions, things that I haven't answered thus far, and put those into a future video eventually that will be a Q&A. So I think that wraps it up for now for grammar and writing, and we'll see you next time.